Hello, how's everybody doing? Ashley here. Today we're going to do an unboxing video. The DJI Spark Fly More Combo. Hey, I'm doing an unboxing video here. Can you please go recycle yourself? The DJI Spark Fly More Combo. This is the DJI Spark, but it's also the Fly More Combo. It comes with a remote and some extra batteries. So I went to Best Buy to pick this up. It came with like an SD card and stuff that they threw in there, a SanDisk SD card. I've wanted a drone for the longest time. I really enjoy a lot of the footage that I see online that other people create, and I've really wanted to participate in that. Had my eye on the Mavic Pro. I felt the Mavic Pro was a little bit more of a higher end purchase than what my finances would allow right now, but also I think in terms of my confidence level, I wanted to start with something that looked friendlier. This looks more like a toy. It's a little friendlier looking. It's not a toy, but it's a little, on the friendlier side. It's a smaller, drone, and I feel that'll give me a little more confidence to use it and to feel less intimidated by using it. So the DJI Mavic shoots in 4K and has a wonderful gimbal and stabilization system. This one is a step down. This is about starting out, not making the artwork about the camera, but really just about what I can do with this and have some fun with this. And so that's the spirit with which I got into this, to getting this one, is I just feel it's a little more accessible to me to use it because it's simpler, friendlier looking. Yes, it's only 1080p, but all my other cameras are 1080p now. I don't have any 4K, so that's fine for me. If this has some limitations in the stabilization, well, then that's a factor as somebody using this, to create some kind of video footage, some kind of artwork of some kind. It's a factor I'm going to have to take into account. And I think with all of the equipment we use, we're always doing that, no matter how high-end it is. If you're new to drones, or even if you have experience with it, I hope you're going to find something good about this unboxing video. All right, that's it. So let's get into this thing and see what it's all about. Interesting. Well packed. Manual! DJI Care. Propeller guards. Spark battery charging hub. DJI Care refresh keep flying. Purchase or bind with DJI Care refresh within 48 hours of aircraft activation. Express replacement. Water damage coverage. Prioritized service. Free shipping. Battery charging hub. Remote controller. Spark quick start guide. My goodness! I thought this was the user's guide. This is the disclaimer and safety guidelines. This is comforting. This is the big one in the whole batch. Fly More Combo. Oh, I guess it's going to explain to me what the Fly More Combo is. Intelligent flight battery safety guidelines. Now I gotta say, I didn't see a user's guide in there, and the user's guide is what I looked at last night, and it's actually a pretty good guide. I find it's like a good thing to read while you're waiting to receive your drone. Okay. Silica gel. Throw away. Do not eat. Glad I read this. We've unboxed. We see some manuals. There's a little carrying case here. There's this box here. Now, I'm wondering if maybe the remote is in here, or the drone is in here, or the remote is in here, or the drone. I don't know. So we're going to find out. Thank you very much. So after that thing goes away, we see there's bag thing here. Power supply, looks like, and I think that's the remote. Well, okay, I think I'm done. I think I got what I needed here. Isn't that just like a cat, though? It's like they like the box better than the toy in the box. I gotta keep this. One DJI remote. Cool. Nice. Now I'm thinking the drone has to be in here. One power supply. Anybody else in here? One set of propeller guards here, meaning one pair. There's two of them here. And then there's another two propeller guards here. Stack those up right there. AC plug that goes into the power supply. Kind of all the power supply stuff. Anybody else in here? Boom. So I think that pretty much empties this case right here. Okay, propeller guard, manual, remote. I'm gonna take plastic thing. We don't need this. Typical power supply. This is the Fly More combo, supposedly. So there should be, I think, 2 batteries and a drone. So I didn't see the drone yet, and I didn't see the batteries. I'm thinking there's got to be a drone in here, and there's got to be batteries in here. So let's find out. Ah, here we go. So I'm seeing one battery here. There's a battery that's not here. My guess is it's inside the drone, but I don't know. And then there's some thingies here. These must be extra propellers. They look like extra propellers. And let's see the drone here. It feels weighty, so there's a battery in here. That's good. I got the 2 batteries for the Fly More combo. One is here on the unit. It's really easy to take that out and slide it back in. That's pretty darn cool. Oh, look at this. More silica. Throw away, do not eat. So my understanding of this drone is that the batteries take up to about 1.5 hours to charge if they haven't been charged. I don't know how these ship. My guess is they ship with about 70% power. I know they ship in hibernation mode. Don't know much about that, but I got the feeling you had to give them a full charge to get them out of that mode. Not sure about that. So I'm actually going to delve into this right now and start charging this thing and just see what happens. Power! So we need the get starting guide. Quick start guide. Charge time, about 50 minutes. The first thing we need to do is charge the batteries to activate them. Let's charge. Power supply. Let me see something. What I don't understand is how are you supposed to... There is no hub here. Is there a hub here? Because I don't see a hub. They're talking about using a hub here. Battery charging hub. Is there a hub here? Where is there a hub? What does the Fly More combo come with? Let me actually see. There is a Fly More combo manual here. What does the Fly More combo come with anyway? I know it comes with the extra batteries. Aircraft body, remote control, charger, power cable, propellers, propeller guards, battery charging hub. One battery charging hub is here somewhere, I hope. So is there a charging hub here, like part of this maybe? Underneath here maybe? I don't see a charging hub. Is there something underneath here? No. Is there a charging hub in here? I don't see a charging hub. Ah! There's a charging hub in here. USB cable type A to micro. Charging hub! Yay! Don't know what else will be in there. Charging hub. Okay, so now that we have a charging hub. Okay, charging hub. No, charger. Actually, transformer. Actually, power supply. Well, it should be a transformer, but it's a power supply. This is a power supply, not a charger, folks. Manual says it's a charger. This, I think, is a charger. Well, these together would be the charger. I think about things like that. Boom, goes right in there. Go figure. All right, let's put the drone here. Charging hub, battery from drone, extra Fly More battery. That's 2 batteries. Okay. Battery 1. Battery 2. So what I don't understand is I don't see any sort of charging light. Everything is off. So there's a little label doohickeys here. Label doohickey 1, label doohickey 2. Well, I don't know. I wonder... Oh! Okay, we need some power first before we can charge the batteries. All right, the big moment. Now, do we have some lights there? Something? Oh, I see a little green light blinking right there on the charger. The batteries have their little indicator lights. I have the manual on the cell phone. User manual. This user manual is really big. It's like 60 pages. When they all go off and there's no more blinking, 100% charged and ready to go. So we have to wait about 50 minutes for these to charge. So let's give them a chance to charge up. 3 rolling LEDs, 4 trailing LEDs. Ta-da! All the LEDs are off. I just push this. It shows me 4 LEDs are on. Let's get this other one out. There we go, 4 LEDs as well. And so that one's fully charged. So for the next step, I want to set up the DJI Go 4 application on my cell phone. I have an Android. I'm going to go and set it up on there. Put it over here. And we've got the drone. So this is the 3D sensing system, the little sticker, camera, little sticker. So I'm guessing it's powered off right now. I'm not going to worry about it. Cell phone. Okay, so now I'm going to install the DJI Go 4 application. And now I'm going to go and pair this thing, I guess, via Wi-Fi. In the quick start guide, it says here, launch DJI Go 4 and tap the icon in the upper right corner and scan the QR code on the storage box and follow the prompt for activation. There's nothing in the upper corner to press, so I'm going to go with what the app is walking me through because companies very often might make updates to their processes, and I think their software is probably going to guide me best at this point than the quick start guide. So let me just go with this. So it says turn on the aircraft, press the power button once, then press it again and hold. So here we go. I'm going to actually press the power button. And now I'm going to press and hold. It's making some noise. Whoa. Hi, little Vital. Come on over here. That's a good guy. He gets very curious about these things. Come here, little bud. That's a good guy. I don't see the drone here in the Wi-Fi. I guess I can click on Reset Wi-Fi Settings. So I'm going to click on Reset Wi-Fi Settings. And it says press and hold the aircraft power button for 9 seconds. And then release when you hear the aircraft beep 3 times. Hi, bud. Were you asking me a question? Let me push and hold for 9 seconds. There's 1 beep. Oh, there's 2. There's 3. Now I think that means Wi-Fi has been reset. You can check the default Wi-Fi name and password in the battery compartments. Oh, I gotta go look in the battery compartments? Okay. Oh, there's a Spark Wi-Fi name. Let me actually look in the battery compartment to see the default Wi-Fi name. Okay, so let's actually pull this out. Paper, pencil. Okay, so you press once, and then press and hold. That turns it on. I'm learning. My guess is that it was paired for the remote control already. That's okay though. I kind of want to follow the instructions. Okay, so now let's connect. Authenticating, connecting. So now if I go back to the app, and it says activate Spark. So activate your aircraft when you connect it for the first time to receive a 1-year warranty. Well, that's nice. Name your aircraft. Well, that's kind of interesting. What should I name this aircraft? Set the virtual joystick mode. Beginner mode. For safety concerns, beginner mode is enabled by default, and I think beginner mode is a good place to start, so I will keep it on the default there. Enabled advanced gesture control. When enabled, you'll be able to use the palm launch, palm land, and palm control. So I'm going to actually keep those in the default state right now, which is disabled. The activation process requires internet access to link your aircraft to your account. Now see, that's very interesting because I'm using the Wi-Fi to talk to this. So I'm hoping that it will use my cell phone internet connection to actually activate. So let's try. Yeah, it says use cellular data to activate. So I guess it's going to do that. I'm just going to say continue and confirm your activated account. And I'm going to say continue. So let me actually disconnect the Spark here from Wi-Fi. So I'm going to go into connections. All right, so I'm connecting back to my home Wi-Fi. I don't know why it wouldn't use the cellular data, but it didn't. So let me activate. And I don't think it worked. I think you need both. So I don't understand how this works. It's very confusing. Let me see if there's a way to go back to the Spark, connected to the Spark, and whenever you connect to it in the future, when the smart network switch is turned on, your account has been linked. Connect the aircraft to activate it. And it tells me that the activation was successful. Actually, it says activation success. So I activated everything correctly, which probably means this is registered with my account and all that. Now, at the bottom of the screen here, I notice it says update firmware. And my thinking is I'm going to go and do that right away, just to make sure I'm on the latest firmware, because I read something online there that said you really need the latest firmware to make sure that your unit still works after September 2nd or 1st or something. Okay, so it looks like there is an update. I'm going to click download now. So it looks like it's downloading. And now there's a button that says start to update. So let's start the update. Are we not connected anymore via the Wi-Fi? No, we are connected, so I don't know why it's not updating. I don't know what's going on. It says, if the firmware update fails, restart the aircraft remote controller and DJI Go or DJI Assistant, and then try updating again. Okay, exit this app again. Connect to the internet to update your no-fly zone database. It's updating the no-fly zone data. Connect the aircraft. I thought the aircraft was connected. So it's really screwy here what's going on. Firmware update available. Let me click on that. Well, let me try scanning the QR code. Maybe, you know. Okay, so I found a QR code. It's on that box that the drone came in. Understand. Hey, there we go. QR code not clear or scan failed. Oh, I don't understand. It says scan failed. Well, let me turn the QR code upside down, see if that makes it. Hello, QR code. Maybe it's too bright here, so let me go where it's dark. Nope, that failed too. Nope, that failed. So it says ready to connect to the network when quality improves. So the quality is bad. This is much more involved than I thought. Actually, turn off, disconnect. Okay, so I switched to the internet. New firmware update available. Find my drone. Okay, let's actually go back into Wi-Fi. And maybe I need to read the user's guide. I probably should have just hooked up the remote control. I don't know why Anyway, I don't know. I was following the instructions, so it didn't tell me it's fly more, so use the remote. So I don't know. I probably should have used the remote, anyway. I don't know. Let me go back to the Spark. And let's see what happens there. It says authenticating. And so let me close all applications. And let's start the DJI app up again. How can it say no network is available? So it's downloading the update. And it says connect to the aircraft. I don't know. I gotta turn this off and look at this because it's just not working. It's not working at all. Okay, you can see here that it is updating the firmware now. I got further with this, and basically, here's what I've got to say. What you're supposed to do is connect to the DJI Spark network. After doing that, after a couple of seconds, it prompts me. I guess it's updating the firmware here, so it's making noises during the update. So basically, after a couple of seconds, the Android screen will pop up and it will indicate that there's a network and you can't connect to the internet. And I click the connect button on that, and it adds it as a permanent exclusion to the smart network switching. And I can always go into smart networks and remove it if I want to. Once I do that, it seems as though it stays connected with the Spark. I think before, when I didn't do that, anytime it needed to use the internet, I think it was trying to disconnect from the Spark Wi-Fi. So I think now it'll stay connected to the Spark Wi-Fi. It seems like it's doing that because it's updating the firmware now, whereas before it did not. So after all that was set up, I exited the DJI Go 4 app and I went back into it. And of course it was connected to the drone because I had connected the Wi-Fi, and that's all good and everything. Then it gives me a prompt. Do I want to update? And I said, well, yeah, sure. And I click on that. It says you don't have an internet connection. Well, apparently Android either allows you to have mobile data connected or a Wi-Fi connection. And even if the Wi-Fi connection doesn't have internet, which the Spark does not, obviously, it will stay connected to the Wi-Fi and not use mobile. I believe there might be some apps like firewall apps or something you can buy or download, set it up so certain apps can use mobile data even if the Wi-Fi is in use, but I didn't want to do anything special like that. So when I got prompted to update and it said I don't have internet, what I did is I went to the Wi-Fi settings and I switched to the home Wi-Fi network. After I went back to my home Wi-Fi network, which is connected to the internet, I went back into the DJI app and I chose the option to update. And then it started downloading from the DJI, update site. After that was done, it said, you want to update it? I said, yeah. says, well, I can't. You're not connected to the drone. Connect to the drone. So I went back to Wi-Fi, connected to the drone Wi-Fi setting, which it's all remembered, so it's easy to switch back and forth at that point. Once I had done that, I actually had to press the button a couple times on the update, and then it saw that the drone was connected, and then it uploaded. So when I updated the firmware, I don't recall doing that same switcheroo type thing, but I think it had already downloaded the firmware. I guess what I'm trying to say in short is if you're dealing with any updates on a mobile-only setup and you are connected to the Spark and you need to download that update, you should go to the Wi-Fi and switch back to your mobile data so you can download whatever it is you need to download. Then go back to the DJI app and try to update it. It'll say it can't update it. Go to the Spark, go back to your Wi-Fi setting, go to the Spark, then go back to the DJI app and then choose to update to the device, and it will update to the device. Now, it's kind of convoluted. Other phones will probably not require that. I'm guessing I'm guessing it's easier on other phones. I don't know, but that's just the nature of the default configuration on my Android device. I didn't see any configuration options to do otherwise. I think there might be some Android apps like a firewall app or something that might let you have some advanced configuration to use mobile data for internet while you're using Wi-Fi for something else. But I wanted to do a default, setup here, and it was very involved. It's taken quite a bit of time to get this set up, but now it looks like I've gotten it set up and I've gotten it updated. And it says update complete. Please manually restart your aircraft. So what I'm thinking is this remote control was probably paired with this drone. But that's okay. I'm going to put this aside, the remote, and I just first want to start with the app on here, just to see what that's all about, and then I'm going to set up the remote. I guess now I'm just going to click on Go Fly, and we'll see what happens here. So I'm indoors here, and it's giving me a lot of warning messages on the app. The app says ready to go GPS, but then it says a compass error, move aircraft or calibrate compass. So I don't know, can I click up there to calibrate? Can I click on compass to calibrate? It doesn't look like... Oh, there. Calibrate compass. Ensure that there are no magnets or metal objects nearby. Well, I'm indoors. It's probably not a good place to calibrate the compass. Okay, rotate the aircraft 360 degrees horizontally. Okay, so let's actually just try that. So I'm going to do that. I should probably keep the phone far away from it. Right. Okay, place the nose face down, and I think the nose is this way, and then I will rotate this way, and I don't know if this will work, but we'll see. And it says calibration complete. That's pretty cool. Okay, so now that that's all done, what's next? What if I click this button? Cannot locate aircraft position in the current environment. Ensure that it's safe to take off. The aircraft will fly at an elevation of 3.9 feet and hover. I wonder if I should put the little guards on. I probably should. Tell you what, I'm indoors right now. Let me put the guards on. One little guard. There we go. More guards. The camera's actually working. So, hello there, drone. How are you doing? And so, I'm not really sure. Take off. Ensure that it's okay to take off. Slide to take off. Well, I can try to take off. That was my first flight, and it was a little nerve-wracking. It lasted all but a few seconds, but that was a little nerve-wracking. I was like, oh, don't... I have to tell you, I'm indoors, and it's like telling me, hey, there's a problem because you're indoors and the location and all this kind of stuff. But I got to tell you, it's got some sensors down here, some little vision sensors or something. They can see the texture on this table. So it actually took off and was very straight if you just saw it. I mean, I'm indoors here, so it didn't get, it wasn't out of balance just because of no GPS. All right, so with that little thing out of the way, let's now pair the remote and check out the remote and see that it's working. Okay, so here's the remote, and the first thing I want to do is check the battery on the remote. If we push this button right here, you can see that there's actually 3 lights that are lighting up with the third one blinking. There is a fourth one here which is not blinking. So it looks like this does need a little bit of a charge, but that it's not, completely all the way down. So I think we're good enough to go right now to try to pair this with the device. Okay, so to turn this controller on, if I press it once and then press and hold, it turns this on. And this status LED LED is actually supposed to turn green when the pairing is complete. So I need to also have the aircraft running, so I'm going to push once and then push and hold until it turns on. Then I'll set it down. I'm going to wait until I hear it do its warm-up, like little startup thing. Now I'm going to push and hold this for 3 seconds. Okay, that's the one beep. Then I'm supposed to hold the flight pause, the function, and the customizable button down, and I just basically hold those down. I guess I wait and see if it's going to work. I'm not seeing anything going on with the LEDs here. Press and hold the flight pause button, the function button, and the customizable buttons. Then the front LEDs turn. That's the gimbal dial right there. Hi, little buddy. This is the pause flight button, flight pause button. This is the function button. And then way back here on this side, the rear button, this is a customizable button in the back here. So I'm going to push all 3 at once. Okay, so if I just hold this. Okay, so it's blinking green. That's supposed to go solid when it's finished pairing. Let me try doing the pairing on here now. Maybe. Oh, that seemed to work. Let's try this again. Okay, when it keeps beeping like that and the green light is blinking green while it keeps on beeping, what I have seen fix that so far in my testing is if I start this pairing again. So I'll push this for 3 seconds. See, that seems to work. If you do the pairing sequence properly, but this is beeping continuously, don't be afraid to press and hold this button for 3 seconds again to enter the pairing mode on this again. I've noticed several times where I've done that, and then this thing stops beeping, and I get the little green LED here. So what I'm doing right now is updating the firmware on the remote control. That's what that beeping is right now. And this thing says 5%. I think it's updating. So what are you supposed to do when this beeps like that? When I attempt to update the RC with the update, the firmware update for the RC, it gets stuck at 5%. So as soon as it starts up, you can see that it's prompting me here with a firmware update notification. So if I click on that, so if I click start updating, it begins to go. That starts happening. So this is at 5%, and this thing just keeps beeping. So I managed to get this remote control updated, but it was a huge bear. I went into the settings of my phone to the lock screen settings, and I activated a feature that allows me to install software from unknown sources, meaning sources other than the Google Play Store. Generally, you don't want to do that unless you know what you're doing. So I was doing this based on the recommendation from some people talking on the DJI forum. Apparently, the only way you can upgrade this remote control, at least from the Android device that I have, you know, if you have other devices like an iPad or an iPhone or something, apparently that works. But with the Android devices, or at least like my Samsung S7 and many other folks, it fails in the same way, where this thing will beep continuously and the percentage bar doesn't move. It stays stuck at 5%. I uninstalled the latest DJI app that I had on here initially so that there's no DJI app on here. Then I went to the DJI forum, and that had the link to the APK mirror that has the older version of the DJI app. So after going to that mirror and downloading the APK, the thing prompts me, are you sure you want to install this? So I just went with it. I don't like to install stuff like that, but I went along for the ride on this one because, you know, it seemed relatively okay, I guess. I'm assuming these packages are still the ones from DJI. Personally, I think DJI should be hosting these APKs if these problems exist, so that we know that they come from them. I'm assuming that this APK mirror is fairly much checked out and stuff. I don't know much about it, actually. I set it up and signed in, and then I connected to, you know, the internet to download the update because it detected there needed to be a firmware update. Then I switched back to connecting to the remote and it accepted the update. So the difference in the experience when the update is working, this thing will still be beeping continuously, but the percentage bar will be zipping along, and that's what it did. And it finished the update in about a minute. So all of this is to say that the latest and greatest DJI app that's on the Google Play Store apparently has issues updating the firmware on the remote control. I'm sure this will change very soon. I hope it will. I don't know much about DJI, so I'm hoping they'll be very responsive and fix that right away. So my guess is you may not experience the same issue, and this may not be something you need to worry about. I think generally speaking, what I had to come up to speed with in setting this stuff up just to get it ready is where do all the components fit into place. I don't really think I got a good high level of that. I read the user's guide. It really didn't give me a good idea of how all of these things link together. I understand a little bit about Wi-Fi. I connect devices all the time with Wi-Fi, so this really shouldn't be a big issue. I finally learned some basics about this after having gone through that. Think of this as a Wi-Fi device and this as a Wi-Fi device. And your phone, for example, can connect to either this thing directly or it can connect to this remote directly. Now, in the case where you use this remote and this remote is paired with this device here, what happens is this remote seems to be the device that controls this aircraft over the Wi-Fi connection. Now, this device, like my cell phone, if I want to use it with this, will connect with this device apparently through a different Wi-Fi connection. Just from surface appearances, it seems that this is a Wi-Fi device in its own right, and so is this, and you can connect your phone to either one. So when I want to use the remote in the mode where I hook the phone here as the TV, as the monitor screen to watch the live view as I'm flying, this is talking to this. These are two Wi-Fi devices that are talking to each other, and this is a Wi-Fi device talking to this. You know, it's like a three-peer system kind of. This is talking to this back and forth on its own Wi-Fi connection, and then these two are talking to each other. If this is not in the picture and I'm using direct Wi-Fi with the Spark, then the phone is talking directly to this device. Another way of looking at it is if I hook this up to here like this, and this is talking to this Wi-Fi device, and this Wi-Fi device is talking to this Wi-Fi device. Basically, the live view that comes from here is going to go to here, and obviously this thing acts a little bit like a router, like a network router, and it routes traffic to the app on here. So they all work together, and maybe my analogy of a router is a little too loose, you know, but it seems to be basically doing something like that. So you don't really need to know about all this network connectivity stuff in order to enjoy these things once they're set up. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Being a non-experienced person, the last thing you want to do is spend a lot of time dealing with Wi-Fi stuff. I'm sure maybe there's somebody out there who would get one of these and say, gee, I want to spend all day working on Wi-Fi things with this and not fly it ever. But I'm sure that's a corner case if it even exists at all anywhere, right? So where am I going with all this? Well, I'm the kind of person, when I understand conceptually at a high level how things communicate in the various modes, and this, let's face it, is kind of complex. You got a device here, it does a lot of things with a battery. You got a device here, it needs to be charged. You've got this device if you want to use it, right? Your phone or whatever you're going to use for the visuals. So that's a lot of equipment, and I think a really good system of documentation might introduce all of those with some nice diagrams that show the various ways that you can connect, so that as a user, you have all that in your mind, because you've got to have it anyway, so why learn it through the cryptic process of pairing things and not quite knowing how it works, and then banging your head against the wall until you get to a point where you're like, oh, you know, now I see how it works. So the whole goal of me explaining this is, like, if you're a newcomer to this stuff, just keep in mind, you can compare your phone Wi-Fi to this, and you compare your phone Wi-Fi to this. This can be connected to a network between itself and this peer here, and it can also be connected between itself here and this device here, where this is sort of in the center in a sense. If this goes directly with this, then this plays the role of remote and screen and everything at once and just talks directly to this. So anyway, this is a lot of verbiage to talk about these basics, but I have to tell you, this took quite a while to get everything going. Now everything is kind of set up. Well, The next thing to do, now that we have it all set up, is to maybe take this for a test flight. Now, with this controller that I have here, I haven't really made it go airborne with this controller yet. So I might try a quick test with that before I go outside with this. So let's just give it a try and see how it works. So if I want to record video on board with this, I need to put a little micro SD into the unit. The non-logo side goes facing up. Then this thing inserts in here. There we go. And it's in there. So here it is. It's all hooked in. We got the remote hooked in. We've got the DJI sitting here. Now I have to see if I can fly this thing here.
Take off.
Oh my God. That thing cut into my leg. Ah, it gave me a gash. Wow, even with those little guard thingies. Ah. Ah. Alright, so that's it for the basic setup. I think now it's time to get outside and give this thing a whirl. Well, hello. Today is about 1 week after I shot that initial DJI Spark unboxing footage, and I haven't edited the video together yet. So basically, I have an empty box. Let's see, the power supply and one of the intelligent flight batteries and an empty bag here. I don't have the Spark with me. Oh, I have some propeller guards. I can have some fun with these, you know. Looking at these tonight, that's kind of fun. Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm having fun with my drone. Okay, so the point here is that I'm twiddling my thumbs instead of using a Spark because I don't have the Spark. So the Spark had to go into the shop because I used a 63-character password when changing the Wi-Fi password, and apparently either that or some of the operations and the sequences of operations surrounding all that led to what appears to me to be a lockup or hang of the Wi-Fi module on the Spark. And I say that simply because all the Wi-Fi operations on the Spark became disabled. In other words, the intelligent flight battery, when you'd push it in, it would not do anything to go, you know, you have 3 functions that you can do with the battery button, 3 Wi-Fi functions, 4 functions total, power on and off, and then you've got 3 Wi-Fi functions. The first Wi-Fi function, I think, is to pair with the remote. I think the second one, which is you wait for 6 seconds, that's to unpair from the remote. And then the last one, which is 9 seconds or more, is to reset the Spark Wi-Fi password to the default password. All of those functions were not happening. You could just push the button in and wait for 30 seconds with the button in. Wouldn't do anything. You couldn't pair it to the remote. You could not communicate at all with the Spark, and it was essentially bricked. Now, it would respond to power on and power off, and it was otherwise starting up in that regard, but there was no communication to it at all. I tried using the DJI Assistant app to reset the firmware, to refresh the firmware. I did all kinds of things. No dice, no dice, no dice. any button push commands you could do on the Spark would not reset the Wi-Fi. It wouldn't do anything. And there was no SSID, Wi-Fi SSID being emitted from the Spark at all. It was like just non-communicative, non-accessible, and the DJI Assistant functionality couldn't do anything. And when I'd go to the DJI Assistant Wi-Fi settings page, it had a read error. It said there was an error reading the information. So I guess when you go to that page, it tries to communicate with the Spark Wi-Fi module to learn, like, let's say, what the password is and stuff. And then it displays that to you on the DJI Assistant, and that just did not work at all. So had to send it in. So DJI sent me a shipping label, and it was a UPS ground, so it took a while to get there, several days. I actually am not that far from them, but it took like three days or so, and then they had to look at it and everything. So finally today, I got an email from them that they were shipping it back, so that was nice. But I don't know, how long it's going to take to get back here. They say it's going to take up to 3 days for it to come shipped out here, and my guess is they're going to ship it ground, and my guess is it's just a cost saver for them, and so I may not get it until mid next week. It's not a big deal, but it's kind of like one of those things where you invest in something. I've been eyeballing something for a long time, and all I was trying to do was be a secure user and set up a long Wi-Fi password. My routers will accept a 63 character random kind of generated password like that, and I don't see why the drone shouldn't, but it didn't, and it led ultimately to this like lockup where it wasn't actually receptive or anything. It was just completely inaccessible from a communication standpoint. The only functionality that worked on the drone was power on and power off, and that's it. And it did make the little noise when it started up, but that was pretty much it, nothing else. So DJI sent me an email today saying that they had located the problem, fixed it. We're sending out a drone. It'd take up to 3 days to send it out to me, so that's good. They also said that using a 63 character password is problematic for reasons that they did not specify, but they said it opens up things to other concerns. I don't know what they meant by that, but one of the concerns I have is that the length of the password may have maybe done some memory overwriting or something. I hope not, but I'm wondering, I'm not sure. So I'm not sure what the concerns are that they were alluding to, but they recommended in the same, information that they gave me to keep the password to 8 to 16 characters. Anyway, that's it. It's the weekend. I don't have the drone. That's okay. I hadn't had a drone for years. I've wanted one. I got one. I ended up setting up the security in a way that ended up finding some weird problem with the unit, and somehow I managed to do that when I play around with devices. I'm using normal functionality, but I'll try out some nuances, and it uncovers interesting things. This is not the first time this has happened. So I guess that's a good thing because, you can report the issue and maybe there'll be something positive that they can do from a quality perspective. But it's not fun as a user to be sitting here at home without my Spark. All right, everybody, wherever you are this weekend, I hope you're having a good, safe, fun weekend, and touch base soon. All right, thanks. Bye. Hello, how are you? Here's my little guy. It's been about 2 weeks since I started making the unboxing video. So here is, this really nice, like lots of bubble wrap. Let me just take it. But this remote has like plastic stuff, like it's brand new. I also had sent this in without propellers. It came back with propellers. I got an extra set of propellers as part of this repair. That's still not it. The front here has the protective coating. I actually have a hunch this whole thing may be brand new. There's another thing here. There's my SD card. So I left my SD card in the one that I sent them, and they taped this one on here. I have to say, overall, I think their customer service is fairly organized. The only blip I would say existed is when I was initially trying to figure out what to send them. They said to send just the remote, and it didn't sound right to me, so I asked for some clarification, and they said, no, send the remote, your battery, and the Spark. They clarified that and everything, but that that could have been, if I were a little bit more naive of a user, it might have caused big delays, right? So I think as a user, it's really wise to kind of be in tune with what you think you might need to send in and whatnot, and just be careful to watch that stuff. I actually have to check the serial number. You know, in fact, I can actually just check it right now. I think I have the serial number in here. So I checked the serial number here, and for sure, they sent me a brand new Spark. They replaced my Spark. So yay DJI, thank you for sending me the new drone. All right, that's it. All right, thanks, bye. So here we are, sun's going down, the rain has let up, so the weather's nice. So I'm really anxious to give this a try. So let me set everything up, let's give this a try. There it goes, green light. Now, I think that's pretty cool. All I've done is taken off, and I think it's pretty cool. Very stable, very easy to do. I'm in beginner mode, and that's fine for me right now. I don't really care if I take off and move a little bit. Right now, I'm just going to be really slow and go easy with it. I think it's good to do that. It's you know, it's good. I'm having fun just by watching it take off, just like go straight up. Okay, let me see if I can make it go forward. Okay, let me just try return to home for the heck of it. That's pretty cool. Oh, confirm landing. So I got home from the first flight experience there, and guess what? I don't have any footage from the drone flight, like the drone footage. I don't have any of that. I have a hunch that I forgot to press record on the second flight that I took. And I think on the first one I landed it once and then it took off a second time, and I don't know if I pressed record that second time. So basically I was focused on my first flight, and you know, maybe that's a blessing in disguise. You know, I really wasn't focused on is the video recording or whatnot. So I haven't looked at any of the camera stuff. I've been all focused on, okay, what's the best way to do this? And I really wanted to just go up and go down and do some basic things with the drone, and mission accomplished there. It's just a little melancholic that I don't have any footage from that first drone flight. But I'm actually kind of also sort of happy I was focused on flying the drone safely and being really basic with it. And I enjoyed the first flight, and the experience was fun, and I'll always, you know, remember that for my first flight. I just wish I had a little footage to show for it. So I just throw that out there so folks know that if you want to record from the drone's perspective, you need to make sure you're recording. I don't have any footage from this first flight. It's a little sad. I'm sorry about that. But I am happy about this first flight. It was a lot of fun, and just wish I had started doing this stuff a little bit earlier. It's kind of fun though. There'll be other flights, and I'll get some other footage. You know, right now that's kind of what the experience is for me. It's a little embarrassing, and I apologize. But maybe I can get some other footage before I finish editing this unboxing video. Hello, it's a beautiful Saturday here at the park, and we've got a vacant area right here, and I thought I would use this opportunity today to experiment with the Spark gesture mode as part of the unboxing video. So the gesture mode is where you use your hand and whatnot to control the Spark, to take a selfie and some general things, and I'd like to see how easy that is to do. So without further ado, let's do that. So here I am with the Spark. I'm going to power it on. Now, okay, so once it's powered on, I think I hit the button twice. And then I hold this. I've never done this. And I don't see it doing anything. I'm going to try hitting the buttons again. Oh, you know what? I've got to turn on. I think I need to activate gesture. I think it's ready to go. Here we go. I'm going to push the button twice. 1, 2.
Phase aware successful. Aircraft will take off. Take off.
Now that is very, very cool. I think that's very cool. Okay, now. That is very cool. Let's try Palm Land now. Let's see if Palm Land works. Oh my God, that's so cool. That's really, really cool. Wow.
Phase aware successful. Aircraft will take off. Take off.
Oh my God, that's so cool! That is so cool. It's following me around. I'm going to try to lean down and get the remote. Oh, it's video recording. Wow. I didn't know if my gesture for video record. Tracking me. Yeah, it's tracking me. So I want to know, have any of you met my friend Droney? This is my friend Droney, and she follows me around all the time. Just wanted to let everybody know that. It's pretty cool. I just got a low battery warning, so let me see if I can do Palm Land. I'm going to hit the come to home thing because it's not listening to me. But it's very polite when it's not listening to me. It's just hovering there. So now it's doing its little automatic land thing, which is really good. I gotta say, for the first time using this, pretty nice. Not as fun as I think using the remote, but you know, an interesting option. Maybe it would be fun in some situation. It's certainly one of those innovative steps which is nice in an otherwise useful drone that you can use with a remote. So it's extra, and I think that gives a chance for the industry to see a nice innovation like this available to consumers, you know, so we can see if we like it or not. And it's a way of kind of moving things forward. I like it for that reason. It's novel. I think flying with the remote is much more fun, but I haven't fully used this either yet. So anyway, let me change out the battery and see what we're gonna do next here. Okay, so we did that gesture mode, advanced gesture mode. I've now disabled advanced gesture mode because it's really nice and everything. I like having control of the drone with the remote control at this time, but I want to try some of those other special modes. Inconsistent firmware found. Aircraft firmware and firmware peripheral devices don't match. Okay, slide to update. Sure. Well, why is it? I don't know why it did that all of a sudden though, because I've been here. You know, I've been out here flying it already, so why would it prevent me all of a sudden, you know? I don't see a green light here yet. There it is. There's the green light. Okay, so we're connected, and it says cannot take off still. I still have a cannot take off message. That's so sad. Look at this. Cannot take off. What a bummer. Okay, DJI, this is really awful. Why is it not letting me? It's telling me I gotta contact support. Unknown error code 180. That's so stupid. God, I can't believe this. What a bummer. I'm out here, I flew this once in gesture mode, and now I can't fly it because there's some unknown error code. You know, I hate products that have unknown error codes. Tell me what the hell the problem is here. Like, why is this thing all of a sudden disabled? It's horrible. Okay, let me actually just close all the apps here. I don't know, let's see here. We got firmware here. I don't know, this is not good. What a bummer. Version check, go fly, but it's not working. I restarted the app, so let's see if that did anything. No, it says cannot take off. It says cannot take off. I'm out here. It's so hard to get a time when like it's quiet like this. And I'm out here with a bunch of batteries I just bought from DJI, and it has some unknown error code on here. Cannot take off. I mean, that's horrible. Like this, you know, I bought a whole load of batteries just for today. I'm out here and it says cannot take off. Contact DJI support. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? Am I supposed to give them a call? Unknown error code cannot take off? I don't know. I don't know why it would be failing, but there's nothing I can do. You know, it's broken, so it's not going to let me fly according to this. It's just not going to. I'll try one more time. We'll see. I mean, this is no fun. I've spent, you know, I'm so frustrated with this thing. It's just so frustrating to me. When it's fun, but it says cannot take off, code 130. Anyway, I'm going to turn off the cameras right now and go over there and see if I can't look on my phone to see if there's some, you know, thing that will explain, maybe something I can do magic here to undo this error. It's very frustrating. Sorry, everybody. Hey, guess what? I got it to work. I changed to another battery. Apparently the batteries have firmware in them, which I figured they did, but I thought it, when it upgrades the air, well, so apparently I bought those new batteries and it's the new batteries. They need a firmware update. I don't know why the update didn't work on that one, but on this new battery that I got, which was part of the same batch as that other battery, the update worked on here, and it says cannot take off. Okay, yeah. Oh, because I was shaking the camera. It said couldn't take off. I was like, but it was because I was shaking the camera while talking. No, it says ready to go GPS. Okay, so let's try this now. Okay, it's on now with the camera and everything. Quick shot mode. Drag a box over a subject on the screen and select it as the target. And then I'm going to say droney and then go. There it goes. It's droney. Hi, droney. Ah, there we go. There's droney. Now I wonder if it comes back. Oh, it's coming back. It's coming back. How exciting. Look at that. Now this is so fun when it works. Okay, so let's try another one of these. Let's try active track. So I'm going to draw a box around me. I'm going to say go. Drag this to enable circle. I'm going to do circle mode now. I'm doing circle mode. I don't know, I'm barely doing anything, and it's taking a camera shot of me, I think, right now. I think it's recording. Let me press record just to see if that'll work. Oh, maybe I do have to press record. I don't know. Let's see. I'll have to check that later. I have no idea. Now let me reverse the circle. Boom, like this. And I'm going to walk backwards and see if it, records me in a circle while I'm walking backwards. Well, I gotta say, that is pretty nice. It's actually, let me go to center point now. should stop right behind me there. Let's try the rocket quick shot, because that's going to be straight on up. Let me... It's up there. There it goes. Rocket. Rocket shot. How nice. Okay, low battery warning. We gotta tell this thing to come on back here now any second here. How cool is that? Now, is that in the shot in here? I don't know if it's made it. Very, very cool, very cool. So the gimbal mode in tripod mode is very smooth. It's very, very nice. What is tap fly? So there's a blue garbage can way out there. So I'm gonna do tap fly now, and I'm gonna tap on this blue garbage can. Now I'm gonna see if I can raise this higher. Tap the blue garbage can, and tap go. I see, you just tap the blue garbage can, and based on where the camera is on that thing, it goes out there, and there it goes. Now I'm gonna stop that tap-a-fly. I'm going to turn the camera around, and I'm going to tap a fly on me. So I just tapped myself on the screen here, and I'm going to see if it comes to me. And there it is, right up there. Whoa! So thank you very much, Spark. The Spark has been very well behaved. I had a lot of fun with the gesture mode. It's a little daunting at first, but it actually works quite easily. But I've got to say, I was very safe to keep my palms very flat, and I think you really need to read those instructions until you feel really solid that, you know, you're ready to do it and stuff like that. I think the last thing I'd want to do in gesture mode is be really nervous and accidentally, you know, make my palms turn into a curled, you know, hand which gets caught in the rotors or something. You really don't want to have that happen, obviously. But for me, it worked relatively nice. It's a little odd not having control with the remote control, but it worked quite well, actually. I was kind of happy to be finished testing that mode and just get back to using this. This is a lot of fun. I think the active track is really kind of cool. It might be nice to get a lavalier, whatever you call those mics, you know, with a recorder or something, and just sort of walk and talk while the camera's shooting me as part of some vlog or something like that. It'd be kind of fun, you know. I'm having a lot of fun with this. I hope I can take some good pictures with this somewhere. I think it's a lot of fun, you know, to play with as a photography device, and I'm really looking forward to doing that. All right, that's it. Thank you guys very much. Bye-bye.